The contract is short and to the point, just 3 pages. It's between BP and marine scientists and researchers along the Gulf, hired for their expert witness services.
Sounds pretty harmless, right? Hardly, say the scientists we spoke with who tell us they've been approached by BP. The way they see it, BP is tying up expert witnesses who might otherwise testify for the federal government when the government files its natural resources damage assessment lawsuit. The scientists also say that BP is trying to prevent the scientists' ongoing research and findings about the spill from being made public.
It took 40 years for Stu Shear to build his business, running charter fishing boats for tourists in the Gulf. Now it's all falling apart between the oil spill that shut down business and haggling with BP over his claim.
Excuse me. You'd wonder how a guy my age at 260 pounds could be emotional.
Unfortunately, the bottom line is he's probably going to have to take that initial offer and then refile additional claims every few months while his boats are out of business. We did call BP. Now, they don't comment on individual claims, but so far they have cut more than 30,000 checks and paid out more than $100 million.
The emergency payments that are going out under my watch do not require that any claimant give up any of his or her rights to litigate or go forward in court. You can take these emergency payments, pocket them, and if you ultimately want to litigate, go ahead. I think that is very unwise.
Nobody down here should be patient about anything. Everybody should be as aggressive as we possibly can to get everything done as quickly as we can. I think the claims process hasn't worked well. I think creating that fund was a good step forward. I think Mr. Feinberg knows what he's doing. He has an extensive amount of experience. Again, if he doesn't make the same mistake that other folks have made of not talking to the locals about how to get this done, this is not our first rodeo.
Investigators trying to determine what caused the Deepwater Horizon oil rig to explode turned to the chief engineer of Transocean, the company that owns the rig. Stephen Bertoni testified about the final hours on the rig, but would not answer specific questions about a statement he provided 26 hours after the explosion.
There's no one who wants this thing over more than I do. You know, I'd like my life back.
The embattled CEO of oil giant BP, who famously said he wanted his life back while overseeing the company's response to the Gulf oil spill, is apparently getting just that. Tony Hayward will step down on October 1st.
I've spent the last 3 months every day on the Gulf Coast, and I'm going to focus for the next month and a half on what we're doing in the Gulf Coast, our relationships with the Gulf Coast and in Washington.